be overwhelming both emotionally and financially for families, and the J Fund makes sure those families don't fight alone and helps replace fear and grief with love and hope. So we've got Kathleen Patty, a 2014 J Fund scholarship recipient, and Edie Wright, the Director of Community Engagement for the Tom Coughlin J Fund. They're joining us now to talk all about it, so thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely, thanks for having us.
Kathleen, let's start with you. Tell us about the day you were diagnosed. What was that like for you?
Well, the day I was diagnosed, I was 7 years old. I don't really remember a whole lot of that day, but I can remember the body language of everyone in the room.
Really?
It was very concerning. And as a 7-year-old, you don't really know what cancer is, but you know it's a big deal and you know that a lot's happening. But kids adapt, you know, you do chemo, you do radiation, you do surgeries, and you think that's the normal. But for parents going through that situation, it's terrifying.
Right.
It's difficult, it's hard. As a kid going through all those things, I just didn't really realize how big of a deal it actually was. But when I went through cancer and when I beat cancer and I started to live a normal life, things were really great until I was re-diagnosed when I was 14.
Oh my gosh. So tell us about your treatment then.
Yeah, so I went through some chemotherapy, some proton beam therapy, and I went through 5 very major back surgeries.
Wow.
I had stage 4 rhabdomyosarcoma. It was very aggressive in my back and in my spine, and I'm still dealing with a lot of those chronic issues that come from that today. But going through all of that as a teenager, things were so emotionally difficult. Things were challenging, things were scary, and very isolating too.
Right.
But what was amazing was the J Fund was there for all of that. They really came in and they helped me in so many ways. When I was a little kid, they were there for the parties. They threw great parties. It was a great fun time.
Help distract you.
Oh my gosh, yes. And when those blue bags were coming through, you knew goodies were inside. You were excited. As a teenager, though, they helped create some support systems and back some support systems so I could talk to other teens with cancer so I wasn't so alone. But what I didn't realize until I was an adult, how much they financially helped my family through that time. As a parent, it's very difficult to decide whether you want to be there for your kid while they're going through this crazy surgeries and chemo, or work so you can afford the treatment in your house. There were times where we were about to lose our house that I was not aware of. But if it weren't for the J Fund paying for our mortgage and our bills, we probably would have been homeless at some point.
Wow.
So because of the J Fund, my parents never had to worry about where they could be. They could be there for me.
And how are you doing today?
I'm doing really great. You know, I still have some issues with my back and I still have to go to the doctor quite frequently because survivorship is all about, you know, you get through cancer, but you got to deal with the after effects. But I'm now trying to find healing and peace through all of that, and that's my journey right now. Currently, I just got into grad school.
Congratulations.
And I'm trying to find meaning through my treatment, and I'd like to help other cancer survivors in their journey. So,
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, there's an upcoming event, Edie. Can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. This Sunday and Monday is our 27th Celebrity Golf Classic, and it'll be taking place at TPC Sawgrass.
Beautiful.
And this event started in 1996. It's a cornerstone event for the J Fund, and it was started in memory of Jay McGillis, who was a football player on Coach Coughlin's team at Boston College. And Jay was diagnosed with leukemia during the football season, and he passed away about 10 months later. So this event, you know, is about that, and the funding through the Celebrity Golf Classic provides critical monies that go toward scholarship programs like Kathleen was able to be a recipient of. And this Sunday night we'll be announcing 5 new scholarship winners.
Wonderful.
And we can't wait to tell our audience and our donors about these young people, what their plans are, where they're going to college, and what their hopes are for the future.
Well, it is a sold-out event, but our viewers can still get involved. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. They can text PUTT, P-U-T-T, to 243-725, and that'll give you access to our online auction, which is live right now and very active. So jump on, you know, you'll be sent a link, click on the link, it'll put you right into the auction, and you'll be able to browse around and see how you can be there for families tackling childhood cancer. And we've got some great items there, and there's 3 items that are artwork by patient families.
Oh, wow.
And the patients at Wolfson Children's Hospital did some artwork for us, so there's 3 platters that are animal themed, so they're very happy and colorful, and you can read about the patients and what inspired them to make these platters. So those are available for bidding. And then we have some cool things, like if you know someone that loves memorabilia, we've got a signed Jacksonville Jaguar helmet by
Very
Trevor
nice.
Lawrence. If you have a golfer in your life, we have around at Pablo Creek, which is a very exclusive private club. If you want to travel this year and you find yourself in New York, we've got tickets to the late night show with Stephen Colbert.
Very nice.
And if you want to get away with your girlfriends or your sisters, head to New Orleans and at the Big Easy and
Yeah,
for
that sounds nice, too.
Glamorous Gals Weekend. So a little something for everyone.
Well, thank you both so much for joining us today, and I'm so glad that you're doing well, Kathleen.
Thank you.
Of course. And if you'd like to see this segment again, of course, you know we'll have that on our website, firstcoastliving.net.